Alright, let's start. Good morning all, and you are welcome to Java for beginners class. And this class is a 2024 class, March 2024. Actually, we are starting with Mysql server. So we have these questions that were given yesterday, all right? And the questions were these very simple questions. We ask you to write an overview on Mysql server. Then I ask you not to write just plain text, just go by answering these questions. As a short answer, you try to know the year of invention, the lab where it is invented, where it is invented. Like this is a repetition, right? Okay, why it was invented, the version till date, the versions of Mysql till date, Mysql server, the difference between Mysql 8 and 5, and some communities for Mysql. Please try to carry out this and submit. Now, the next question, which is question 2, talks about the installation of Mysql server or a higher version, either this version or higher version. And I think we are having a higher version, which is Mysql 8.3. So you install it in your PC and then you carry out these. You carry out these questions. I mean these exercises. So in order to make it very easy, I downloaded this. I've already downloaded this tutorial, and I've shared it in with you via your WhatsApp group. This tutorial will really assist you in putting hands-ons for Mysql database server. I told you I want us to finish this program within this Mysql database server component of this program in just 2 weeks, I think, or something, or maybe less than 2 weeks. So maybe you go by the course content here. How do you connect to Mysql? How do you do all these and how do you quit and all that? So I think we can start doing some things from here actually. Okay, can you recall that we have mentioned that Mysql has two different what? Two different clients. Thank you. And these clients are the clients are what enable you to connect with Mysql database server, right? The server, you can't interact with the server just like that. There has to be a secured client for you to interact with the server. So one of the clients is what? Mysql Workbench. Mysql Workbench. So this is a GUI. This is a GUI what? Or if you like GUI, a GUI client. Then secondly you have Mysql client, which is the what? It is a console client. Thank you. So now let's move. Okay, I think this should be part of our lessons. Let me just shift it here so we don't have to. Maybe after this. Okay, these are just exercises. I think I can do something here. Let me just paste it here, just like something. Alright, so the first one, this is the Mysql workbench. Okay, and for the client, let me start with the client. It is somehow not really what is wanted. Look at it here, Mysql 8.0 command line client. Command line client. So if you click, it takes you to command line like this. It will ask you to enter your password. Let me increase the font size. I think this is visible, right? Yes. So you'll be asked to enter your password. The password is to be set up when you are setting up or installing MySQL. So you'll be asked to enter password. When you enter your password, then you press enter. You know, this is what we call console. Sorry, this is too big. It is console. It's not everyone that can interact with MySQL from here, unless if you are a developer. And I will urge you to understand how to interact with it from here, because there are times we will be invited to work with MySQL server, and the environment will not enable you to install MySQL workbench. So it will be good for you to understand how to interact with it from here. Are we there? So from here, if you can recall yesterday, we were able to come up with some commands that we said if you put in this show data basis. What do you see? Can you see some databases here? These are list of databases here. Alright? These are list of databases. So if you want to move into any of the databases here, you can just move into. Like for example, if I want to go into this result logic, then when I double click, I press enter, then I will now write use. I will type use what? That means I have directed all commands towards this database by making it active. Are we there? You make it active. When you make it active, then you start your commands. Then when you type in show data, show tables, for example. Show what? Show tables. Can you see how it's showing tables for you? These are the tables of the database, which tells you that we have many tables here, multiple tables. Are we there? Many tables. So let's take an example here. Let me pick this as an example. Let's check on the content of this table. I double click and I press enter, then I will write a SQL command that says select asterisk from the table name. That means I want to see the content of what? The table. Then I press enter. Can you see what is happening? Sorry, let me use the workbench. For the first time people want to use workbench, you'll be asked to create a connection. I have some connections, about 4 or 5 of them. But let's create another connection. You put in your connection name here. Let me say Java AC March 2024 connection. That's the connection for a class. Okay, then you test it. It tells you what? It's successful. If it is not successful, you have to check maybe you are wrong somewhere. So if we try to check here, we have our connection method, which has been the TCP/IP connection, standard connection. Then the host name. This tells you that it's a local host. Okay, look back address. Then this is 3306. This is the port number. I think we're going to discuss this port number in due course. Then this is the username I'm entering with. Then now if I click on OK, I've already stored my password in the vault, so it will not ask me to enter my password. Okay, so when I click on OK, it will create it for me. But you will be asked to enter password when the password is not being stored. So if I click on it, it will open to the window where we can start writing our commands. Alright, so this is it. So I can now type show what? Databases, plural form of it. So it shows all the databases. I think we picked one database called Result Logic, right? Use this. So I want to use this database. After that, I have made it active. Then show what? Show tables. You know, here you have to be careful. If I select like this and I press this command, execute the statement under the what? Under the keyboard cursor, it will execute only this line. But if I did not highlight any and I press on this first one, it will execute right from command number 1 to the last one. Okay, so I want you to execute only this and I press. It shows all the tables, and I think I picked applicant sign up, right? Which is this. You can adjust it like this. So you see, this environment is much more, it's more appealing, right? Select. What does this mean? Select means I want to display the content of a given table, and this asterisk means all what? All columns. All columns. From is a keyword. This is the table name. So if I press it, this command, can you see what it has done? It has displayed this. These are the contents of the table. These are the tuples. The instances. Are we there? So this asterisk stands for these columns. Can you see column here, column here, column here, column here? If I want to see only the phone number, for example, I should write only this. Or let me duplicate this. So I should copy this as a field name, and I have what? Only phone number. Okay, if I want to see phone number, before phone number, if I want to see ID, I do this. ID, comma what? Phone number. Can you see? So this is how you play around with the something. But before we start doing this, let's go by what our tutorial says. The tutorial starts from very basic. So it says this is the prompt. What is your prompt? MySQL, if you like, MySQL greater than sign is your what? Prompt. Which here you will not see it, but in the console you're going to see it here. Can you see it here? MySQL, then what? Greater than sign. That's your prompt. That's where you are going to be entering your commands. So you can combine the two if you like. So here, if you type in select version, comma version with open and close braces for method, comma current date, it gives you the version of the MySQL and what? The date of the MySQL. For example, if I type in, should I use this console or here? I think you prefer this one, right? Select what? Version. You see, it gives you code guessing. It is already there. Then you will highlight it and press this. Can you see? This is the what? This is the version of MySQL I'm using. So maybe if you are using version 5 or any other version, it gives you the version you are using. Are we there? Okay. Then, comma, I want to write another command. Current what? Current date. So you see commands that are related here. Current date, current time, current timestamp, and what? Current user. Let's use all of them. Current date is already taken. Then current what? Current timestamp. Then what? Current. Who can guess what is the current user? The user. No, MySQL is a database name. The user was root user, right? If you can recall, root user means admin or super admin rather. So now when I press this, okay, so can you see current version is what? 8.29. Current date, it will pick from your system date and time. If your system date and time is not, if it is drifting, then it will pick as it is. Then current what? Current time. What is the time now? Even though it was when we captured when it was okay, it's still 07, but the seconds was 06. Then, if you should run it again, it will give you different thing here because it will be calling, it will be running it. It will be collecting the time as based on with regards to the current time and date. Next is what? Current timestamp. You know timestamp, when you say time stamp of what? Time. It gives you date and time. Please let's understand this. You know, date is an entity and time is an entity, right? But timestamp will combine the two. Date and time, thank you. Then current user. Current user will say root user at what? Localhost, which is very correct. So I think we've done something from the tutorial here. Let's move on. Please, I want you to continue testing these commands, understanding what they are, okay, while answering the remaining part of the question and all this. Can you see this guy tried what we have done here, but he tried it in different commands and different lines. Okay, and that is this we need to understand. Sometimes there are you could be asked to make calculations in MySQL, and it's very possible. Like if you check, for example, in this case, the guy tries to find the sign of pi all about 4, and he tries to multiply the content of the bracket that says 4 plus 1, okay, then times 5. Okay, let's try this second one since it's something we can verify right now. This is what he did. It says select what? There's this command. What do you expect with this now? This also gives you the current date and time. The current what? So it is replacing what? Huh? Timestamp. Yes. If you do not understand what you mean, if you take it like this, for example, and then you run, you're going to have same values. Please, any difference? Any difference? Check it very well. Any difference? There are differences. The first one presented date. Okay, there's no any difference. They are same. So now replaces current timestamp, right? Yeah. No difference. And you know system date is year, month, day, right? So for the mathematical operations, you can try it says 4 plus 1, is it? Yes. Then multiplied by 5. What is your expectation here? What is your expectation? 25, yes. Following bed mass, right?
Yes.
Is it bed mass we call it? Bed mass, but in computing we call it? Bed mass. Yes, parentheses. Parentheses exponentiation. What else? Division, and understand. So let's see what it's going to give us. 25. So it will give you all the computation, even much more complex, higher computations like this. Mysql can do it for you. We have tested it in several applications we have developed. So I think with this you understand the basics of so please go through this tutorial. It will give you kind of beginner kind of support. All right. All right. So I think with this we are somewhere. Let me check the next question here. This is what says the question, right? Question 2. Write a Mysql command that displays the entire database in the server. Make world database active. Okay, do we have world database active? Do we have world database here? So let's check if you have any. I want to maintain this for our class, so I will save it as a script. In the folder, let's say CCL Matters, and then I have Java SC 20 in March 2020. Is it Java SC or okay? Lesson March 2024. Let's see SQL queries. Okay. So the question says you should check for the. Let me write show databases here. I know I have this command at the top there. I want to see. Do we have we don't have a database called World, right? Or do we have it? No World database here. I don't know what happened really. We're supposed to have it. Maybe during installation I did not install it. So for in case when you come to install, you should install the database World database. It is a database that comes handy with Mysql. Like part of the documentation, you'll be taught how to interact with databases using World database. Okay, so please during your installation try to include it. I did not include it, I guess. So after making it active, you now carry out this. Okay. Okay, you carry out all this. Let's move to this assignment. This question 2 here. So let me see if my tutorial talks about something different. Okay, please let's check over here. It says the ant. It's trying to understand. It's trying to it's trying to explain the keywords and. Though I'm going to give you an assignment to search for the keywords of Mysql. This is a Crash program actually, so you'll be asked to do a lot of work. Actually, you'll be disturbed with assignments and all this. Okay. Actually, I will have to add another tutorial so we can do many things here. But please, can we solve this problem? The database is not there unless if we are going to create it ourselves. Look at it. It says that have not yet entered the machine. So this guy tries to check the. Look at what he has done here. I intentionally skipped this, but let me explain it. If you see this is the ready for new entry, for new query. If you see this, it's waiting for next line of multiple line queries. If you have queries that are, if you have written your queries in multiple line, you see this and it's waiting for you to end your multiple line query. Then this will be waiting for next line. For example, you cut this and you don't bring you write or put in the closing quotation. It will be waiting for you to do that. Also this closing quotation for double quotation. Then the backtick is waiting for the line waiting for completion of the identifier that began with what? Backtick, open backtick, close backtick. And this is used for comment. So I think from here, let's jump to solve this problem. Then we call it a day, so you can practice on your own. Can you see this question? Please, somebody should read out this question.
Design database ID, take DB, and create a table name of text following field and data type.
Okay. So this time around, I want to solve this problem. I'm going to use Workbench, but the way I'm going to do it, it will be different from how we've been. Okay, let's just do it. Maybe by next class, you start doing modeling. So we'll create a database called PetDB, right? Please, let's do it together. Create PetDB. How is it spelled? Okay, no space. Small d, right? Then it says created, right? You'll be seeing your comment here. I want to see show. If I want to see whether it is being created, I use show what? Can you see it here? Yes. Then I copy it. And I'll say what? Then it says active. Then let me say show what? Tables with program form. Nothing, no table has been created, right? So let's come back here. It says we should create a table named what? Pet what? Just pet, right? Okay. So what do we do with the following data types or fields? So the first name is pet ID or just ID, and it has 11 character, and it is the primary key. The name, honor, species, sex, birth. All right?
Yes.
So the first one here is pet ID. So you now say create. Sorry, yeah, create. Since we have made it active, now say create what?
Yeah.
Table. What is the name of the table? Pet. Thank you. This is what you do. Then you specify. The first thing is ID. ID. Then you give it its domain. ID what?
Domain.
No, the domain. What is the domain? ID is supposed to be int, auto increment. You see, this is helping you with some code guessing things, but the black screen on the console doesn't. Okay, so auto increment what? Primary. Thank you. Primary key. So this is now one field. We are done with one field. Introduce comma immediately after it. This is the name of the field, and this is the domain. This is the domain for the field. Are we there? Then name. That is the next. Name. Name should be varchar or varchar. Some are calling it varchar. Then the size of the varchar, it says 64, right? So it can take how many characters? 64. Next is what? Honor. Please let me make this small letter. I don't want capital letter here. It will work, but by convention. Honor also varchar or varchar 64. Next, species, sex and birth. Species for the pet, right? Species, VI or yeah, species. Also varchar or varchar 64. Next, sex says is car. Look at it here. Car, one space, one character. So you make it car, one space, one character. Next, birth is the date, right? That is the field, the domain, or if you like, the data type. Okay. So say what? Birth. We now say what? Date. Not date type, just date. Are we there? Then you highlight and run it. It tells you it's being created. So you can now check. Please, before we check the content, let's check the structure. To check the structure of the table, you now write what? Describe what? Pet. Pet is the table name. Can you see the structure? This it tells you that ID is int and its primary key it is never null. Name is what? Varchar 64 and down here. Are we there? Then if you want to check the content of the table, you put in this command. Select like this. Sorry, not pet DB, just pet, right? Pet is the name of the table. ID, name, owner, species, sex, and what? Bed. That means no any entry is made, right? So can we make some entries? Because the question says you should make how many entries? Oh, I've skipped death. Sorry. Death should be there. Death. So what do we do? How do we correct? We can add a table and add the death. But since we haven't done anything in it and our command for the creation of the table is still there, you can simply just drop it. Drop table name. Dropping means deleting the table, but we don't say delete table. Rather what? Drop. So the table has been dropped. Now even if you try to collect, check, select from it, it tells you what? Table what? Doesn't exist because you have dropped it. So I want to now come over here and do the what? Death. It's also a death. Are we there? I've forgotten it. So that when I push it here, you now see it here. Bet and what? Death. Is it okay? Alright. So then let's now insert some things in here. I want you to start making the insertion. Okay. So let's do something here. Insert into what? Yeah? Into the table name is pet. We have two ways of insertion. This is the easiest way. Table name, pet, values. This is a keyword. Okay. Then you enter the values here. The first one here, since it is auto-incremental, you don't need to put in anything. Rather, you just say what? No. What do you understand by auto-increment? It automatically increments itself. Thank you. So name of the pet. Maybe we have a cat and you call it maybe Catty. Should be in quotes. All text. Either double or single quote. Let's say you have a cat, you call it Catty, for example, and the owner is maybe Usman. Let me just say Usman KD. That's the person who owns what? Kati. The specie for Kati is what? Cat. Alright? Then sex. Maybe it is female. Then what? Huh? It was born maybe. You start day. I mean month, year. Maybe this year, 2024. And let's see, yesterday. Yesterday was, I mean, March. And what? 4. And birth, maybe it has died today. I mean, death, it has died today. That means it has spent only 1 day or some hours. 5th, right? So if you click on insert, then if you want to check on the content, you now push in this command, select command. Oh, there is problem somewhere. Let me clear this so I understand what the problem is all about. Okay, we haven't concluded all the fields. There is, so let's check here. Sorry, this is not what they call sex. That's why it's very good for one to check on the structure of the what? The table. This sex is what? Character. And I wrote female. So you remove all this, make it only one character. Okay? Then you now push it. Then you check later. Can you see? This is the content of our table. So this is what the question says. Now you should make how many entries? Okay, go by this. It says calculate number of days, the birth and death for each of the what pets. If you want to check the number of days for each of the pets, what do you do? Let me try to add another one here. Let's see, Kati2. Let's see, here, for example, and maybe here, male, and maybe this should be February, and this should be March 4, maybe. Then I will push this. Then if I check, I have 2 rows, right? So how do I check the days in which the pet has lived? That is the total number of days between birth and what? After here, maybe I ask it to, I want to check the difference between this and this, because this comes first. The day somebody died, if you want to check number of days or month or years he has spent, you check from the death. But then there's a command we call det diff. Det what? Det diff. This is a command. Det diff. It means det difference. It will give you the difference between 2 dates. But then the bigger date should be the first. Okay? Which is this death. Okay? And then what? Birth. Then you push. Can you see this is spent how many days? And this. But then look at here. Do you like it this way? Just chunks of queries like this, that's diff. If you don't want to make, if you don't want it that way, then you come up with one called alias. You can say as what? Huh? Lifespan. Sorry. Yes, lifespan. Lifespan. Thank you. Okay. Can you push it? Can you see? Instead of what? Or maybe you make it small letter O. The lifespan. So please try to practice as we have done it here. Try to have the hands-ons. Always come here for inquiries, and there are people that will help you here. Waste is also here also. It's just the last 3 months or something. Alright, thank you for watching. We're pushing the video into the YouTube channel. We urge you to like and subscribe and do the right things. Thank you.